everybody.
Hi, guys. Well, from beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah,
It's Thank God I'm Atheist.
the podcast.
I'm Frank Feldman.
And I'm Dan Beecher.
And coming up on the show today, oh, Dan.
It's
Dan. It's the beginning of the show. We don't like to start it off with a downer.
it's
down.
just a tough time.
We're back
You
to
guys.
that again.
It is a rough time. So, here's the thing. Frank and I am challenging us. We are going to talk about nice things to look forward to, things to be happy about, because we're kind of in a bit of a doldrums.
Yep.
We're in a rough moment.
Yeah.
And we're staring down the barrel of a winter, and that doesn't sound very fun. So we are going to power through it, and we are going to be positive, and we are going to figure something out that's nice to talk about.
We are firmly putting our fingers in our ears and blindfolds over our eyes, and we're going to live happily.
Yeah, something. We're going to figure something out.
Just ignore the world for a minute. All right. Dan.
Yes.
Here's something that brought me delight this week.
Oh, good.
Well, I guess earlier in the week, I saw a headline about Pope Francis liking a photo on Instagram. And I was like, what? Why is this news? Well, because the photo was of a Brazilian model in dressed in very, very little clothing. In fact, quite very little. The reason I think people follow her Instagram account is because she's a pretty lady who likes to show it all off and everything. I think that's kind of the gist of the whole thing.
Have you been to Instagram? That's 96% of it.
Well, anywho, her name is Natalia Garibotto, and she was immediately she immediately sort of captured this moment, right? And sort of retweeted, like did a screenshot of the and then reposted it, saying that she was at least I'm going to heaven, I think she said. And that was the story. And I was like, well, I would love to bring this up on the show, but that's not much of a story. Well, the story got a little bit more interesting as the week went on.
Okay.
Because the Vatican had to respond to this. How do they respond? Right? It's you can't just let this be out there in the world. And so
and you can't just say, this is one of God's children. The Pope loves all of God's children.
I wish that's the angle they had taken. No, instead, they are saying that they need an investigation into how this photo was liked by the Pope's account, Twitter, Instagram account. And they are. I can think of an easy explanation. They are confident that this did not come from within the Holy See itself. and it's clear as day to me. You had some, because I think to all you have to do is to double tap, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's really easy to accidentally something on Instagram.
Yeah, you just get a jittery thumb going and suddenly it's...
Well, imagine an old man with his jittery thumb, right? Scrolling through, just looking around and finds this picture of this scantily clad Brazilian model.
Pretty lady.
Pretty lady.
Might have hovered over that particular picture a little too long.
But according to the Vatican, the Pope does not actually
like women.
that would be an interesting way to go. No, while he does approve his the his posts and tweets and everything that go out on social media. He does not. He's not actively involved in the likes.
Oh, well,
So
that's
there's that.
shocking.
So there's that. And he's not like sitting. He doesn't have the app on his phone, right? Like he's not sitting around scrolling through officially. Like he's not. Well, they actually say in it, he's not Donald Trump.
Right.
And,
it does not surprise me that a man of his age is not like super keen on Instagram.
He's the
It
same
seems
age
unlikely that he would
as
be
Donald Trump. I mean, why not?
manning the helm.
But nonetheless, boy, that story just brought me some serious joy.
I love it. Well, I'm going to take us to Alberta, up there in the Great White North, where in Edmonton there is apparently a bridge, and it is they call it the High Level Bridge. It's one of the big landmarks of Edmonton, next to their I don't think it's next to, but along with their formerly biggest mall in the world. Suck it. That's our shit. You can't have that. Anyway, in Edmonton, the High Level Bridge, one of the features of this bridge is that it has a multicolored lighting packet that he does. It's got 60,000 LED light bulbs that can be programmed to be different colors for events and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So, if you've got an event coming up, if you've got a reason, probably on Canada Day, it's red and white, and if you've got another reason why it should be.
Or if it's Pride.
If it's Pride, you might think maybe, or if there's any other reason. Anyway, a group applied to have the bridge turn some colors in conjunction with an event that they were throwing. The group, the provincial anti-abortion group Alberta March for Life.
Oh God.
Decided that they wanted the bridge to light up for them. And here's the thing that kills me. The thing that I almost think, because I'll get to the end of the story. The story is, the city okayed it, and then they were like, no, actually, you guys are polarizing. This is not about, you do it for polarizing issues. We only do it for, they do it, they did it for Diwali and all these other things.
In the world today, just about everything is polarizing, right? Like, except for maybe the only one that you have a really good excuse for would be like celebrating your nation or your city or something like that. I mean, Diwali, that's not going to be right.
That's not going to be very controversial.
I guess not, but
I will say this: I almost think,
but Pride,
that the city,
I want to know if they actually do Pride. That's controversial
I don't
to some
know.
people.
I actually don't have an answer for that.
Okay.
But I will say this: they probably should have let them do this, because the color scheme that they wanted was light blue, pink, light blue, pink, and white, which they were saying was for unborn boys and girls. But I got news for you, kids. That one's already taken, and they would have done the trans awareness bridge, without knowing it. They basically wanted to do the trans flag up on the bridge without even knowing that that's what they were doing.
We just get the left seems to get to the best colors first.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. The right is so much better at a lot of things, including like messaging and all this stuff. But when it comes to iconography, the left seems to have it locked down. Stop taking their rainbow, Frank!
I know, their poor rainbow.
That's supposed to belong to Jesus and Jesus only.
Oh, golly. That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, Dan.
Yeah.
Down there or over there, I guess, in Tennessee.
Yonder.
There is a county mayor by the name of something Newman. Bill Newman.
Doofus McGee.
You know who he is. You've already read this story.
I guessed.
He is not. He refuses to require masks in the county of which he is
of course he does.
mayor. And he says it's not that he's anti-science. He's not. He's not.
Oh,
he totally
okay.
is not. He's
God.
he's an Auburn University trained veterinarian. He understands science, he says. Right?
Definitely. Okay.
The virus is science, and it's true. And I do believe masking helps prevent the spread of it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
he's on board. He gets it. He understands.
We're
all
very
of it,
close.
right? And he says, but I don't feel I should mandate people wearing masks at this time. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Weird. Okay. Why though, Dan?
Yes.
Well, it turns out that he says that he takes any big decision to God for guidance.
Oh, right.
Right? He's Baptist, and he says
Sure.
that guidance comes from the Holy Spirit. And so the Holy Spirit dwells within us, he says. It's a heart thing. It's not a mind thing. But you're using all you're using all your God-given talents, your physical or mental or spiritual, all those things. When I pray for guidance, I may not know the answer immediately, right? And
so he's just waiting for Jesus to tell him to make the mask mandate?
The Holy Spirit. He's waiting for the Holy Spirit, Dan. He apparently this county should not come as a surprise. It's had a lot of COVID cases. Right?
Yeah. Sure.
There's only 34,000 residents, and they've had over 1,300 cases. That's it's a little under 4% of their population has had COVID.
And it sounds like they'll be getting to the rest toot sweet.
That's the goal. But what's interesting is that a lot of people are really frustrated, right? Like, when you're in places where the leadership just isn't doing what they should, they're good, intelligent people across this country, including Tennessee. And so there's a Facebook group that is organizing to try to get the mayor to tell everybody to mask up. The organizer says there's a lot of anger. People feel that there's a chance for leadership, and he's not taking it, and he's ducking behind the Holy Spirit. We have all talked to the Holy Spirit and gotten different answers.
You're so close. You're so close to figuring this out. Literally, it's just right there.
Oh, it's so
the door's already open. You just need to push a little bit.
They're just fighting over what the Holy Ghost has told them individually to do.
My Holy Ghost said we need to do a mask mandate.
I know.
Oh my God. They've got competing ghosts. They are haunted by different ghosts. Oh my God. Can you imagine trying to get a permit to do to put up a building, and that guy has to wait until Jesus tells him it's okay?
You want to put in a new McDonald's? I don't know.
Please hold. Gotta pray. Oh Lord. People are ding-dongs. All right, well, I'm going to bring us down for a little bit because this is an important story and it really fucks with my head and it's sad, but we'll get through it.
Okay.
This is the story of a 15-year-old Utah girl. She's now in her 20s. But when she was 15, an 18-year-old acquaintance of hers, she's a Jehovah's Witness. An 18-year-old who is also a Jehovah's Witness began bullying her and then sexually assaulting her.
Okay.
And this was sort of a pattern of behavior in him. He would rape her. It happened several times apparently.
Yeah.
And one of the times, inexplicably, he sent an audio recording of him raping this girl
What?
when she was 14 years old to the elders of their Jehovah's Witness church.
By accident?
Doesn't seem like it. No.
Huh.
What he was trying to do was, I guess, I don't know his motivations. Here's what I do know. The elders of this church, A, did not report this to any authorities, and B, decided that she had consensually had sex outside of marriage, which is a huge, big sin, and that they were going to confront her about it. And in so doing, they called her in. These shitbag men forced her to listen to the audio of her being raped
No.
multiple times for hours.
No.
To try and bully out of her a confession that she had sinned.
What?
So,
Holy fuck.
you know, the rape wasn't trauma enough. She needed to go through the trauma of men, trusted authorities in her life, forcing her to go through it again and accusing her of evil.
Oh my God.
So she
What
sued.
the fuck? Yeah, good.
Right, correct. That is, you are absolutely right. She sued the local church. She sued the national organization, which is the Watchtower or whatever. And in the lower courts, oh God, this pisses me off so much. The lower courts decided that if this were a secular environment in which she had this experience, no problem. Obviously horrific. They would be going to jail.
What?
But since this was a religious organization, they didn't have the authority to say that this was bad, and basically acquitted them.
No.
Ruled against her.
No way.
Thank God she has appealed it.
Yes.
Oh yeah. It's literally insane. It is insane. Like this is what we're talking about. All of these years that you and I have done this show, 9 years now, this is the fucking shit that we're talking about. The fact that Ogden, Utah's 2nd District Court literally ruled against a woman who was very obviously traumatized by men who should have known better, who were in authority over her. It's such an open and shut case. It's unfathomable that anyone could rule against her. Well, now it's gone to the Utah Supreme Court. And at least one justice seems to get it. At least one justice basically compared what this woman experienced with being waterboarded.
Oh, wow.
And said in all of their years of being a judge and a lawyer, they had never heard of something so horrific or so open and shut.
Yeah.
Other justices on the Utah Supreme Court were less less eager to slam the door on this case.
I'm just having a hard time. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
They're worried about where to draw the line. There's no line
they're saying
here.
Is assault and inflicting somebody upon. It doesn't matter the context in which it's done. It was done. It was done by people, and it's even more grievous because these were people in a position of power in their community. This is worse because it's religious, not less.
Right.
This is horrifying.
Yeah. And so yes, I'll try to let us know like what happens. There hasn't been a ruling from the Supreme Court, but I am so incensed by this. It's just this is the privilege that religion enjoys in this society.
Unbelievable.
And it's the last like region of society that should get this kind of privilege.
Absolutely.
Like they are the ones who have, like the fact that they are that these men in these positions are authority figures in people's lives should mean that they have to be mind their P's and Q's far
Even
more.
more. The standard should be higher.
It should be much
lower.
higher for them, not lower.
But this is like,
that's the flip.
It just gives religious groups carte blanche. I mean, when does ritual sacrifice come back? Right? Like I mean, come on. Like there are things that are wrong, and it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah. There's literally no excuse that you can offer me that I could possibly accept where men forcing a woman or a girl to listen to a recording of her own self being raped.
Unbelievable.
Like I would sue them if they made me listen to that recording.
Yeah.
Fuck, and I'm not part of it. So, it's I just can't even imagine. It's unbelievable.
Unreal. All right. Well, Dan, I don't know how we go on from that.
I know. Okay. I'm shaking it off. I'm getting the wiggles out.
I mean, at least I'm not having to transition to something that's overly funny.
Okay,
but it's
good.
not like the one you just shared. It is something to be outraged about.
Okay.
A different kind of outrage. It's the story of a Muslim woman who was recently removed from an American Airlines flight after a white male passenger said he didn't feel comfortable with her being on the plane.
Oh my fucking God. Are you serious?
Yeah, I am totally serious. And the story actually somehow finds a way to get worse because it's in the details, right?
Yeah.
So the woman's name is Amani Al-Katabeh. She's the founder of a website called MuslimGirl.com. I looked it up to see how legit it looks. It's kind of a newsy site for Muslim women, but kind of that progressive, very it's about being a woman, right? And having rights within their community. I didn't look deeply at it. That was just sort of the gist of it. She was the first Muslim woman to run for Congress in New Jersey.
Wow.
She was supposed to be flying from Newark to Charlotte, North Carolina. I don't know. That's not an important detail. But anyway, so she was at the Newark airport, and she was in the security line, right? And a man cuts in front of her, and she challenged him on it, right?
Because fuck you.
She tweeted out after the experience. She goes, "I had the craziest experience in TSA this morning. An entitled white man behind me insisted on cutting me in line because I was still taking my shoes off. When I said he could wait like everyone else, he started going off about how he was pre-check and first class. She says that he put his luggage in front of hers and skipped the line to go through the metal detector before her. And she says, y'all know if I, a veiled Muslim woman, had the audacity to throw a temper tantrum and run through TSA security, I would have gotten bodied," she says.
Yeah.
I would have been detained, missed my flight, probably gotten charged, etc. She says that instead of TSA saying anything to the man, they told her to cut it out.
Of course.
And absolutely.
He's a white man.
Well, so as fortune would have it, they were going to the same flight.
Okay.
And he was in first class. And so she gets onto the plane, and she's running video on her camera at this point.
Sure.
She's smart enough that she knows something's going to go down. So she's filming the whole time that she's on the plane. And someone from airport security comes and finds her on the plane and says that she is being removed from the flight because a passenger doesn't feel comfortable with her being on the aircraft. And she goes, I do not feel comfortable with that passenger being here. I would like that passenger removed.
Yeah.
And then she says, she questions whether it's because he's in first class or, is that why he's not being removed? And yeah, so anyway, American Airlines is being made to answer why they would do this, why they would go along with this. And it's kind of blowing up on them. Aren't they? American Airlines, they're the ones that just keep ejecting people for all the wrong reasons, right? Like, didn't they have the same problem like 2 years ago? A similar problem, rather. They
pull shenanigans.
It seems like a lot. They seem
lot.
not to have like their staff trained well enough on like sensitivity issues about,
right,
being a minority.
Or maybe their staff are trained perfectly, and this is exactly everything's operating as it's meant to.
Yeah. So anyway, so she's having none of it. Of course, nobody knew that she had a platform,
right?
And yeah, so it's very, it's infuriating.
I don't fly American anyway because I think it's a trash airline, but I just have more reason not to, which works for me. Well, I'm going to close it out with a one of our friends. We've encountered E.W. Jackson, a pastor, a number of times. He's a name in our circles, in the circles that we look at. This is one of the, and he is a bold evangelical Christian. I assume he's evangelical. I don't know what counts and what doesn't. Anyway, he's a pastor, and he has said multiple times, going back to like April, that he and his people are safe from coronavirus. And why are they safe? Because Jesus. And if you pray to Jesus, he at one point said that Psalm 19 or Psalm 19 instead of COVID-19 was what he was on about. It was Psalm 91. Never mind. Anyway,
I wish it was Psalm 19. That would be great.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, that would be better. Get your act together, Jackson.
And Bible.
He said, "I will not get the coronavirus. Who do you think you are? How can you say that? Because I asked God to protect me from it. I confessed Psalm 91 over my life and over the life of my congregation and over the life of our families, and we are not getting it." He repeated it. He repeated the claim later on his like radio show or his podcast or whatever it is. He was not going to get it.
Right, because that's all it takes, right? Is a little bit of Jesus. Sprinkle some Jesus around.
How could it go wrong? And I'm positive, I am 100% sure none of our listeners have figured out where I'm going with this. You can't see it. There's a twist at the end, you guys. Uh-oh. There's a surprise twist at the end because he got it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, good. He deserves it. Here's the thing. I'm coming to terms with feeling okay with saying that people deserve bad things happening to them if they have done nothing to prevent those bad things, one, and knew that it was and had all the information that it was preventable, right?
Also, if they are influencing other people,
add that to it. That's a cherry on top for me.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
You deserve coronavirus. Yeah. It's better if you die from it. He doesn't appear to be dying from it. He seems fine.
I mean, I feel bad for people because they're like victims of really bad misinformation and everything. But like,
yeah,
okay. Oh, you got sick. Okay, yeah. I don't feel too bad.
His wife apparently got it too. Oh, he gave it to her. He admitted in his.
So she doesn't have enough faith either.
Huh. You know what? The whole family just needs Jesus for real.
I mean,
you're not Jesusing right?
Clearly, I mean, he's saying that God's going to protect him based on his faith, right?
Yeah. That's
so
literally
you didn't have
what he
enough
is saying.
faith. What's wrong? There's something wrong with you, preacher man.
Yeah. He literally said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to make you play the clip. We're going to play this clip. Because I am going to splash around in his misery right now.
All right.
See, folks, I'll tell you something. I'm going to boldly say this. I will not get the coronavirus. I will not get it. Who do you think you are? How can you say that? Because I've asked God to protect me from it. And I've confessed Psalm 91 over my life and over the life of my congregation and over the life of our families. And we're not getting it. In the name of Jesus.
So there you go. That's in the man's own voice. What a bold leader he is. What a brilliant person. Well, if you know any bold leaders that you want us to talk about, or if you have anything that you want to say to us about this or any of our stories today, feel free to write into us, podcast at thankgodimatheist.com.
Or call and leave us a voicemail message. The telephone number is 424-666-8442. Stick around. There's more show coming up. Hey, Dan.
Hey.
So, we have a clip of audio to play.
We do.
It is also a pastor, as we
tend to do.
We like to play
kind of our
clips
thing.
of crazy pastors.
Sure.
And this is a guy by the name of Andrew Womack. And he's got something to say about how God's role in sort of like picking the president of the United States.
Yeah,
and
because we
apparently
all know what God's role was when Donald Trump came to power.
Yeah. Well, I always thought that it was that their sentiment was, universally amongst Christians that God anoints all of our leaders, right?
Yeah.
Turns out that's not
what
the case.
They kept saying. That's what I've heard for the last 4 years. Let's see if that holds true. I can't imagine that any hypocrisy would come out. So let's just hear what we have to say.
I heard a leader in the body of Christ say that God sovereignly puts in the president. And so if Biden winds up being the one, then God is the one who put him in. And man, I just hate that. I disagree with that 1,000%. And let me just give you one scripture that if you believe the Bible, it disproves that. And that's Hosea chapter 8, verse 4. And it says, "And they have set up kings, but not by me. They have made princes, and I knew it not." I mean, right there, the Lord just clearly says that I wasn't a part of you putting this king in. I'm not the one who put that prince there. God doesn't put people in who are going to kill and expand the killing of babies by the millions, even babies that have been born alive. He's not the one putting in people that are pushing the LGBTQ agenda and causing social upheaval. He's not the one that's putting in people that are going to socialize everything and radicalize it. That's not God.
Well, Pastor Womack, okay. I mean, I love that his argument very clearly seems to be God is the one who puts in the guys I like.
Right.
He's not the one who puts in the guys I don't like.
And Andrew Womack gets to decide which ones God appoints or anoints and which one God does not.
Oh my God. The moment when he's like, and I just hate that. I just hate it. That is just a bad idea. I don't like it at all. Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. Once again, people creating God in their own image, right?
Picking and choosing. Yeah. It's kind of how Christianity works.
Oh God.
Oh man. Well, we had some folks write into us. Let me just pull that on up. Let's see here. Mark wrote into us. I filled out a form to join the Satanic Temple, because why not? They responded with an auto, "We'll get back to you." I feel a bit ghosted trying to sell my soul to the devil. Is my soul not good enough? Are they just fucking with me? So many questions. Okay. I tried to sell my soul to the devil. You remember that, Frank?
I do, yeah. You wanted to be able to play the guitar, right?
Yeah, we were in, and we went down to the crossroads. We were sort of in the Mississippi Delta, and I thought if I'm there, might as well learn to play the guitar. But alas, the devil was a total no-show on that.
Well, I mean,
I even tried to bargain with him. I was like, maybe can I play another instrument? Anything?
Yeah.
But niet.
Well,
said the devil.
See, the thing is, Dan, your soul's not that valuable as an atheist.
I guess. Yeah. Right? He's already got it.
He's
That's
already
the problem.
got it.
What I need to do is convert to Christianity, get saved, then sell my soul.
And really believe it.
Oh, yeah, I got it. Oh, that's going to be hard.
Believe it.
How hard can you hit me over the head?
Then he'll let you play the guitar.
Yeah,
or you could just practice.
Or
you could take some lessons. Practice a little.
I mean, I play a little bit of guitar.
Yeah.
I can do chords.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Gotta put the work in, though.
Got to put the work in. Yeah. I like the devil route better, but apparently definitely not. I mean, guys that don't exist tend not to do magic for you. That's just a way of the universe. John in Texas wrote into us, "Hey guys, new listener here. I was listening to the soundbite from your persecution complex episode when Pat Robertson claimed the Earth is, quote, 14 billion years old. I thought that sounded a little older than I remember, but assumed that if Pat was incorrect, the podcast's hosts would swoop in and set everyone straight. Oh, you just don't know us very well. we are not paleontologists. What would it be? Geologists?
There you go.
We're not any ologists. We are non-ologists. Anyway, So John goes on, the scientific consensus is that our Earth is about 4.5 billion years old. Yeah. That means Pat's Earth age estimate is more mathematically incorrect than the young Earthers types. I mean, he's got the billion thing right. I love in the subject line he had called him an even older Earth creationist, which is delightful. So, yeah, we didn't catch that because once you get past a billion, it's all the same to me. It's all 1 billion or 14. Until you get to trillions, I'm not even paying attention. Yeah. Oh gosh. So we do have some people to thank. So I'm going to launch into that. We had a delightful email from someone who sent us a one-time donation. This is from Grandpa Jerry. I love it. And Grandpa Jerry said, I just made a $200 donation to you. Oh. And I wanted you to know that I did it in memory of my longtime friend Al Biggs, who died recently at the age of 98. Wow. Whoa, way to go, Al. Yeah. He built his house in Tonasket, Washington back in the 1950s and lived in it until 2017 when he moved to Olympia to be closer to his son. Huh. This meant he had to decide what to do with the house. After checking with his sons, he decided to give his house to a young Hispanic couple who were renting across the street. The young man would do his yard work and shovel snow, among other things, without being asked. He also spent time with Al watching sports. According to Al, this was his way of sticking it to Trump by giving a Hispanic couple a place of their own. He was a very good man.
Oh,
well,
that's wonderful.
Thank you, Grandpa Jerry.
That's lovely.
I love having another grandpa, and the donation was very generous,
that's
and
really
Al
sweet.
Sounds amazing. We also need to thank Michelle for her one-time donation. Both of these kind people are now indoctrinated and confer upon them the priesthood I'm going to give Michelle gets the Aaronic priesthood. We're going to give her. She's a deacon.
Nice.
They are a deacon. I don't know if this is Michelle, a woman, or Michel, a man, or a non-binary person. So Michelle gets deacon, and Grandpa Jerry, I'm going to make you a high priest.
Lovely. Wow.
So and I think you have one more person we need to thank.
I do indeed, Dan. As always, we need to thank our top donor, our Lord and Savior, Davis. And what all these people did is they went to thankgodimatheist.com, clicked on the support tab, and found their preferred way of helping out the show. Dan.
Uh-oh, Frank's using his quieter voice.
That wasn't my excited Dan.
No.
Oh.
It's a tough moment for us. Not this show.
No, the show's,
but us personally.
good.
And probably a lot of humans right now.
Yeah.
It's why is it hard for you, Frank?
Well, I think what's put me into giving me, it's not a depression. It's just,
it's a funk.
It's a funk. It was a reminder, really, of kind of everything that's going on. Because, this summer, the transmission rates for COVID weren't really all that bad. And so we kind of got a little pod going, right, with some of our closest friends. And Dave and I did. And
your husband.
My husband.
And you?
Dave and I did.
You have a husband?
I have a husband.
That's cute.
Well, it's been difficult to wean ourselves off of the pod.
Yeah.
It's actually really been really hard. And so like, and right now, I mean, listeners outside of Utah, I mean, it's bad. It's bad in all of middle America. And it's really bad here in Utah. And we're watching the numbers just go up and up and up and up.
It's a stupid fucking nightmare here
and in
COVID land.
And so we had, with our pod, sort of planned a Thanksgiving, right? And because none of there were various different reasons why meeting up with family just didn't work for us. And we just canceled it. Because we all kind of independently came to it, like just the news and the rate of the people getting sick, and it's just, we just couldn't do it, right? And so we've canceled that, and it's just, if anything, it's just the first real indicator of like what the rest of this winter is going to be like. And the fact that, last year, I mean, when this all started, it was like March, right?
Right.
Earlier this year. And
that was earlier this year?
It was earlier this year.
That feels
I was about to say last year.
1,000 years ago.
I know. It was this year. And
I
it was
literally
rough.
have a beard to my knees now because of this damn thing.
And that was rough. We had to do all this time inside in the cold still and everything. Couldn't really go out, and everybody was taking it so seriously. But like, now it's like, oh, we've got months, and that was like a month or two of that. This is going to be months and months and months until any of us get vaccines. And I mean, mid next year, it's going to be nice weather again before the vaccine's available. So we have to get ourselves through this winter, and it's sinking in. And I know a lot of people out there are feeling the same way. And I'm really sorry for that. I'm
Meanwhile,
right there
our
with
listeners
you.
in
in
Australia, things are getting better for everyone south of the equator.
Yeah.
So
lucky you guys.
At least you guys, yeah.
Oh, how I wish I could come for a visit.
But we're staring into the void here.
Yeah. But so we thought, Dan, we kind of were like, what should we talk about today? And it was like, well, why don't we talk about the things that are good right now? Let's remind ourselves of the things that are good.
Things to look forward
yes.
to.
Uh-huh.
Things that can lift spirits. Anything.
Yeah.
Anything. We need it.
So where should we start?
What do you got? You start. You go. I'll go. We'll go back and forth.
Well, I mean, I mentioned it just now. We have a vaccine to look forward to. There are two that have been announced that beat anybody's wild imaginations for how effective they think they're going to be when all the final results come in. But as it looks right now, like over 90% effective. That is like exactly what you want in a vaccine.
Oh,
so
that is a gorgeous vaccine.
Yeah. And there's two of them.
That is the sexiest that a vaccine gets.
And so that right all by itself, I'm actually kind of emotional about thinking about getting a vaccine. But the thought that this can end, right? That this can be over, and it's science that got us there.
And we can travel again, and we can go out to eat. We can go to a movie.
I know. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, that is going to be awesome.
It's going to be a good day to get that vaccine.
I'm going to hug all of our friends, whether they consent or not.
Non-consensual hugging down.
It's coming. I'm afraid I just can't. I can't take a no at this point.
There's a non-consensual hug in this season of The Queen, Dan.
Okay.
It's
I haven't
not a
seen
good
The Queen.
thing.
Wait, are you mean The Crown?
Oh, The Crown, not The Queen. Yeah, The Crown. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen this season yet. That we'll get to the TV because there is TV to look forward to too. I wanted to talk about the fact that, like whatever the fuck makes Rudy Giuliani's hair dark, the entirety of the Trump administration is melting down its own face.
Yeah.
And I am here for it. They are losing every court battle.
Yeah.
The recounts are all coming in exactly where we thought they were going to.
It's amazing. Thank God.
So I am living for a Trump-free government.
Yeah.
That is I'm not going to agree with everything Biden does. I'm going to guess that he's going to do some things that I'm going to be furious about. And yet, it will be so much better than what we've been going through the last 4 years. That I'm gonna splash around in it. I'm just gonna live in that knowledge and that understanding. While we stop tearing children away from immigrant families and actually have a pandemic plan on file for the next one, and just a little bit of responsible governance will be a breath of fresh air.
No kidding. Well, we kind of touched upon it. TV. There's some good TV happening right now. That's always good. It's something you can do.
We can
watch
stream
TV.
All the things. You can stream all. And here's the thing that I'm doing. There's no shame in my game when it comes to streaming. I am watching the worst schlock available, and I don't care.
Right.
If it even seems remotely like I'll enjoy it, I'm just gonna watch it. I've watched Porky's and Porky's 2.
Wow.
Let me tell you. By the way, Porky's 2, the plot line. Let me just describe the plot line of Porky's. Don't watch it, for the love of God. It's terrible. But the plot line of the second outing in a 80s sex comedy franchise.
Right.
The plot is that local religious leaders are trying to shut down the high school's Shakespeare production, and also the Klan gets involved because they cast a member of the Seminole tribe as their Romeo.
Oh my!
And in the end, the kids' shenanigans get back at both the local politicians, one of whom tries to fuck a 17-year-old girl, and the Ku Klux Klan.
Wow.
How fun is that?
Sounds amazing.
What the hell were they doing? What was happening in the 80s? I mean, I was there, but I was young. I think bad things were happening in the 80s. Anyway, I've been watching that, and I said to you earlier, Frank, this is not bad TV. There's good TV. If you haven't, and I know it's blowing up, everybody knows about it, but if you haven't yet watched The Queen's Gambit, it's awesome. Great TV. Just fucking fantastic television.
Nice.
That's on Netflix, I think.
It is on Netflix, yeah.
What do you got? What's your TV pick of the week?
I don't know how good it is. It's
again, we don't have to do good.
Yeah.
I started with Porky's. We're fine.
I'll say that it's a format that has worked for a lot of shows in the past, and that's sort of the competition reality show thing, like Master Chef or Project Runway or
Great British Bake Off.
Great British Bake Off,
or whatever it is.
The one with RuPaul's Drag Race.
Right.
Those are more sort of maybe your good examples of the genre.
Okay.
HBO Max has Full Bloom, that's currently still coming. They're releasing one a week. I don't know. I don't fully understand HBO Max as a streaming service, but it's florists competing in the same sort of context as those other shows, and so they have challenges.
Just arranging the shit out of some flowers.
Stuff, right? Like last week, they had one where they had to make this arrangement that was suspended in a box by fishing line, nylon wire, right?
Sure.
And it had to look like it had to be floating in midair. Well, it is floating in midair, for Christ's sake.
Right.
And so but some of these florists are really fucking good, and it's like, wow, that's a beautiful arrangement, right?
Okay.
But then some of them aren't very good, but none of them are bad. It is missing the one who's just terrible. Just truly awful. But then it kind of, and no offense to the florists out there, it's flowers, right? Like, you get the colors right, and you put them in the jar, and I know there's an art to it, right? Now we're gonna get a nasty email, I'm sure, about this, but you just arrange them, right? You make them look nice. I admit I can't really do it, but it's also like, if I tried, maybe I could. I don't know.
I'm sure you could. It does seem like it's a little bit the equivalent of a reality show about like adults coloring in coloring books, but that's fine. If you enjoy it,
I will say,
great.
This is much better as far as this genre goes than the one, I can't even remember which platform it's on, and I think it's on Amazon. It's absolutely terrible. It's the dog grooming one. It's really bad.
Oh my God.
Really, 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 really bad.
Okay.
From the host to the contestants to the concept, it's just bad. The florist one is watchable. It's entertaining. So good enough.
The Bow Wow
it's
glow
good
up.
enough.
All right. All right. Well, here's the last thing that I wanted to talk about in terms of things that I want to look forward to, things that are going to make me happy in the world. I've been looking at this. I've been sort of, because the thing that's kept me sane all summer during COVID, because I haven't been going out. I kept my shit tight. I haven't been going to restaurants really. I haven't been doing. I've been ordering food, but I haven't been. I've been very, very, very careful. Right. So the thing that's kept me sane is outdoor time.
Oh,
going for long walks, hiking. Any of the things, like being in the sun. Sometimes I go for walks with friends that aren't in my pod, but we social distance and we just chat on a walk. Like, all of that stuff has kept me on track.
Right. Okay.
So I've been dreading winter because those walks, it's going to get cold.
Yeah. We bundle up.
I have determined that I am going to Do the bundle thing.
Nice.
I am going to go outside. I'm going to keep it up.
Yeah.
I'm going to learn. I'm going to go sledding.
Yeah.
I'm going to go, because I'm not going to do the skiing, snowboarding thing. I don't normally do it anyway. But also just,
Get some snowshoes. They might be hard to find because of, COVID shortages. But like, I'm sure you could find a pair of snowshoes somewhere. It's lovely.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. Go on a hike. Snowshoes.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Great.
So yeah.
I think that's great.
That's what I'm gonna do. That is my solution.
I applaud it. Dan, we are discovering online board games with friends. It's been it's a thing.
Is it a Zoom thing, or how do you do it?
No, they're the board game makers. They'll take their popular games and they'll adapt them to like you'd be able to play like on your phone, right?
Oh.
Or online, or wherever. And so like at the beginning of the whole thing, we're doing Ticket to Ride, which is a fun little ride or game. I don't know if you've ever played it.
No, I don't know that game.
And it worked really well on our phones. But what we're really excited to try is Wingspan with our friends, and we're looking into how to do that because we know it's up and available, and so we just haven't. And one of our friends actually tested it out, and he says it's awesome. And so we're going to be playing some Wingspan. And if anybody knows,
do you know about? Do you know about Jackbox games?
Jackbox? No.
Yeah. I guess you can do this online with each other. I downloaded. I've played it like with friends in a room together, but I've also played it online with people. Jackbox is a group. They're a company that's been around for a while. They were sort of pioneering in online multiplayer, like not like first person shooters or anything, but like puzzle games and fun, that sort of thing. And they've got some really fun games, and you can sort of play it and everybody's on their phone, but there's a thing on the sort of there's a group screen that everybody looks at, and you vote on each other's answers and stuff. It's that can be really fun too. You should look into it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. I mean, these are games that we play in the real world,
right?
And are just delightful. But yeah, that's worth looking into for sure.
Well, there you go, friends. Write to us. Tell us how are you going to stay sane? Give us ideas. We'll take them. These are just us spitballing here. So you can do better. Write to us, podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or call and leave us a voicemail message. The telephone number is 424-666-8442.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, you can go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/TGIAtheist, and click on the like button.
And while you're there, search for the TGIA Members Only Lounge and request to join. Is a closed group, but we will let you in. Also, find us on Twitter. There's a lot going on Twitter these days, at TGIAtheist.
Yeah, and I'm just going to say, by the way, because people have had a little trouble finding it, I'm just going to put this out there on the air. The TGIA Members Only Lounge, the address is facebook.com/groups/TGIA.membersonly. There. Now you can find it. You can request to join.
And if you like what you hear on the show, guys, please consider going to thankgodimatheist.com and clicking on the support tab.
Donate in the name of your favorite 90-something-year-old guy.
That's lovely.
Thanks so much to the Red Rock Hot Club for the use of their fine music.
And our thanks goes out to Gordon Johnston for the use of his music.
And thanks to all of y'all for tuning in. We sure appreciate you.
Bye-bye.